This week's going to be fun. We're going to talk about, look at this book, Loving Bravely. We're going to talk about soulmates. Do you believe in a soulmate? I'll give you my opinion in a minute. I'm going to share with you. Wait a minute, that was chapter 7. Surrendering the lesson 8 in this book. Keep the soul in soulmate. So, Alexandra Solomon, this is the best book that I've ever read on relationships, and I've read too many books on love and relationships. She talks about 3 different understandings of soulmate, and the point of this is that what you believe about soulmate really matters in your relationship. So, number 1, becoming aware of what is it that you believe about soulmates. Like, do you think that it's preordained and that it's a real thing that lasts forever? There's one person. Or what? It matters and plays out in your relationship. So become aware of it and then evaluate that belief and say, okay, how does this work for me? Maybe I would do better by, upgrading or taking a new belief about it. So I'm going to present her 3 understandings of soulmate. Number 1, a soulmate is your bashert. See, here we're on page 83. You with me? Everybody following along at home? A soulmate is your bashert. I didn't marry you because you were perfect. I didn't even marry you because I loved you. I married you because you gave me a promise. That promise made up for your faults, and the promise I gave you made up for mine. 2 imperfect people got married, and it was the promise that made the marriage. And when our children were growing up, it wasn't a house that protected them. It wasn't our love that protected them. It was that promise. Now, so this one is kind of the choice, the commitment, the promise, the choosing of the soulmate. And that's one thing. And I think that's an important element to kind of a lifelong committed thing. But I think not far from this, which she talks about in here, I'm going to quote this part. Couples who share a story that their union was created and supported by a force bigger than them feel a sense of comfort, connection, and meaning. So, that their union was created by a force bigger than them. So I think this is a couple different ideas. It's not just that you commit to someone in a marriage with this bond, God blesses it, you choose that the promise is kind of the foundation of the thing, which I think is very powerful with somebody that you share that with. It's also that there's this fate that has brought you together, and that this is the one, that kind of thing. I don't know that I believe that. Maybe I'm an old cynical man. Like, do I really buy that? Maybe I will when I find the one. I'm not sure, because we're running around looking for the one. Or I think the problems with thinking of it like that is, it's like, oh, okay, found him. Now it's all easy, smooth sailing, happily ever after from here. Oh my God, we're having a fight. Maybe this isn't my soulmate. That one's a little bit along the lines of fairy tale. Don't get me wrong, I like the commitment part, and I understand how grounding it in a shared belief of the divine, and that there's more than just your promise here, makes that a more successful long-term venture. But it's my opinion on that part of it. Okay, number 2, a soulmate. This is the second option. A soulmate, you get that? A soulmate's a fellow traveler. And this is kind of the partner on the journey, companion, sharing the journey together, somebody by your side. I find all of these very appealing and comforting, and just a nice part about life. And I think we're talking about this in terms of a romantic context, monogamy, one partner for your whole life. But I think you could see this soulmate thing as a fellow traveler, a companion for distinct periods of time. I like that part. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, this is the one I hadn't thought about before. I kind of was familiar with those other ones. A soulmate wakes you up. I don't think I would have thought about that in the last. I don't think I would have thought about that a year ago. I'm going to read this one to you. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror, the person who shows you everything that's holding you back, the person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. But to live with a soulmate forever, nah, too painful. Soulmates, they come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. That's actually from Eat, Pray, Love. You remember that book? I read part of that book. Elizabeth Gilbert. I don't know why it has to be so temporary, but, the author brings this idea, really, that I would say one of the purposes and roles of a soulmate is to forge your spiritual and personal growth, to really make you grow, to push. And that, when you come close to someone like that, things are going to come up. You're going to really have the opportunity to work at a deep level. Let me read some of this other stuff. Woven into the definition is the inevitability of pain. Soulmate relationships are vital and time limited. I don't know that it has to be under that. Why does it have to be time limited? A soulmate relationship creates a crisis and a crucible for transformation, allowing us to experience in the next relationship a more conscious love. And we can view the possibility when a relationship is over that it was created to do what it was supposed to do and that it has completed. So there you go. There's 3 ideas of soulmates. What is yours? And is it any of that? And what do you think of yours? I think that's the takeaway from this. How does it function in your relationship, in your life? Does it hold you back? Does it support what's going on? I believe, this is what I think. I like elements of all of these. I don't think you have to pick one. I like the fellow traveler, companion one. I like that a lot. A soulmate wakes you up. I recently experienced that in a relationship that indeed ended. And for me, that's got to be a part of the picture. Somebody who challenges me and who engages me and spurs me on to grow, to be a better me, to encounter those sides of myself that aren't the prettiest. But like I was saying before, and I believe in this, the first one, the commitment one too. I don't think I believe that there's only one soulmate. There can be. I don't think there's one out of 6 billion or however many people are on the world. We got to run around and find them. I believe it's something you create. Maybe fate and God, the universe, deliver us possibilities, and then it's kind of up to us to make it happen and to build and to create something with somebody. And then over time, someone becomes your soulmate. Maybe it isn't this thing from the beginning. There was another quote that she put in here. And I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh. A man approaches his rabbi and asks, "How do I know whether my wife is my soulmate?" The rabbi answers, "You know because you're married to her." I think the process of doing it makes somebody the soulmate too. There you go. Those are my reflections on soulmate. Hope it was a little fun and entertaining and also kind of raises some consciousness and awareness to how beliefs, even about something like soulmate, matter, how they affect our lives, and how you have the ability to upgrade. You can revisit and improve upon your beliefs in terms of how they work in your life. Fascinating idea, right? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.